Hello, hello, hello. Before we get started on our balance class today, make sure you've got a block handy and a strap nearby if you've got one. We're going to begin in Savasana, something a little bit different today. Go ahead and get comfortable on your back. Walk the shoulders down away from your ears. Bring the palms to face up. Close your eyes. And just take note of the breath. Don't try to change it at all. Just become aware of the natural pattern of your breathing. Begin to scan through your body, noticing how you've arrived on the mat today. Begin to inhale and exhale through the nose with a slight constriction in the back of the throat. Maybe try inhaling for a count of 3 and then exhaling for a count of 3. Do this a few times just to center yourself before our practice. When I think of balance in a yoga class, I think about experiencing the perfect in-between blend of strength, focus, and relaxation. Balance can also be about being present in all aspects of our experience. I think finding this harmonious state of balance is not always easy. For me, it happens when I'm calm, grounded, present, and connected to myself. It's a state of being rather than a process of weighing up. Striving for balance is a natural response to the stresses of modern life and the expectations that we so often feel to be busy rather than still. One thing I've learned from yoga is that opposites can also be experienced simultaneously. A Buddhist story I came across while studying balance explains this concept quite nicely. A musician asked the Buddha, "How should we meditate?" Buddha responded by asking, "How do you tune your instrument?" The musician answered, "Not too tight, not too loose." The Buddha replied, "Exactly like that." Our yoga instrument includes both the mind and the body. We know that whatever comes up in our mind will affect how we work our bodies and vice versa. This useful notion of not too tight, not too loose offers us a guideline about how to engage our quads, when to let go, when to release the jaw. This back and forth firming and softening, advancing and relaxing, toning and releasing is how we find balance in our asana practice. At the deepest level, not too tight and not too loose reminds us that nothing is solid or permanent. As you transition from one pose to the next, you're completely leaving one experience and entering a new one. Bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees fall heavy towards the mat and extend your arms straight up overhead. There's 3 essential elements of balance. They are alignment, strength, and attention. Alignment of the body is a body with gravity is crucial. It makes balance physically possible. Strength gives us the power to create, hold, and adjust the alignment. And attention continually monitors the alignment so we know how to correct it from one moment to the next. Begin to draw both knees up in towards your armpits, grabbing for the bottoms of the feet, setting up for your happy baby. Simultaneously pushing and pulling on the feet as you flatten your back into the mat here. Take note of the feeling in the hips and the low back, maybe even in the groin here at the beginning of your practice. We're going to come back to this pose at the end and see if any notable changes have taken place. Release the left foot down. Keep the toes flexed in towards your nose. Actively pulling that right knee towards the mat here for half happy baby. Make sure that your strap is nearby. Grab the strap and wrap it around the bottom of the foot. Still keeping that knee hooked in close like you're pulling it towards the mat. Once the strap is secure around the bottom of your foot, begin to extend that right leg straight up towards the sky, still keeping those toes flexed in. This is a supine variation of our peak pose today. We're going to challenge ourselves and open the right leg out to the side. Keep the hips square, rooted down on the mat, and the shoulders rooted down as well. This is going to help with your balance once we're standing. The next inhale, you can bring that right leg back up to the sky. Release the strap, drop it down on the side, bend your knee, hook your two-piece fingers around your big toe this time. Setting up for your half happy baby again, only this time we're gripping onto the big toe. Now, extend that right leg straight out to the sky once more. If you're having trouble straightening the leg, go back to the strap. Option to stay right here. Option to challenge yourself and open up to the right. Again, remembering to keep the hips rooted down and the shoulders rooted down here. Checking in with our alignment. It's going to be crucial when we're standing. Inhale the right leg back up to the sky. Release those right toes and let that right heel come to the mat. Switching sides, you're going to draw that left knee up and in. Again, setting up for your half happy baby here. Grab your strap, wrap it around the bottom of the left foot. Once it's secure, pull that left knee a little closer to the mat. Go a little deeper into that stretch, and when you're ready, extend the left heel up towards the sky. Toes are flexed in. Challenge yourself and open up to the left. And that nice opening in the groin. Keeping the back body flat on the mat. Inhale, bring that left heel back up, parallel to the sky. Release the strap, bend your knee, come into your half happy baby, hooking your two-piece fingers around that big toe. Option to stay right here, option to extend that leg straight up to the sky once more. Challenge yourself on the first side, open up on the left, challenge yourself on this side. Inhale that left heel back up to the sky. Go ahead and release the big toe and bring that left foot down to meet the right. Reach up, give yourself a nice big morning stretch. Feeling long from fingertips to toes. Now draw the knees in towards the chest, give them a good squeeze, hug everything in close. Maybe rock back and forth from left to right, massaging the muscles of the spine. Now begin to rock up and back along the spine, long ways. Maybe 3 or 4 times until you come up to a nice easy seat. Sitting cross-legged here in the center of the seat, in the center of your mat. Inhale, reach the arms up, upward salute, reach tall, find length in the side body. As you exhale, drop the left hand over to the left, reach over to the left with those right fingertips. Draw the left shoulder back some, right shoulder forward some. Keep the chin up. Maybe you shift your gaze towards the ceiling. Reach over to the right, to the left. I don't know which way I'm going today. Inhale, come back up to center. And as you exhale, drop the right hand down, reach over to the right with the left fingers. Inhale, reach both arms back up. As you exhale, cactus the arms, lead with the chest. Be expansive across the collarbones here. Nice, beautiful angel wings. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, open up to angel wings once more. One more time. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, fold forward, release everything down. Let your head and neck become soft. Keep those sit bones firmly rooted down. Connect with the breath. Drag the hands across the mat, slowly round the spine up, sitting up nice and tall. Bring the right heel to your left glute. Step the the left foot over the right knee. Ground down through the sit bones, sit up nice and tall. You're gonna turn open to the left, locking the right elbow on that left knee. The left hand goes behind you, look over that left shoulder. Release, come back to center. Drop both hands over to the right. Give yourself a nice counter pose in the opposite direction. Maybe you let the head and neck hang here as well. Release, come back to center. Uncross the legs and switch the placement of them. Top leg goes on the bottom. We're gonna twist open to the right this time. The left arm's locking that right knee. The right arm's going behind you. Look over that right shoulder. Release. Come to center, pass through center. Drop both hands off onto the left and give yourself a nice counter pose here to the left. Release, come back to center. Extend the right leg out to the side. Point the left knee up towards the sky. Align the left heel with your left glute. Grab onto that left shin with your right hand. Extend the left arm straight up to the sky. Reach tall here. Take a big deep breath in, and as you exhale, begin to lateral flexion over to the right, reaching for your shin, your ankle, or your toe, your big toe on that right foot. Twist the torso up towards the sky and shift your gaze up towards your ceiling. Try to pull the torso through the arm and the leg here. A nice stretch in the backside body and the obliques. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, rise back up. Drop the left hand off onto the left side. Let the left knee come down. Press into the hand and the knee. Rainbow the hips up, coming into your modified wild thing. Press your hips forward here and begin to make some circles in one direction with your arm. And then stop and go in the other direction. Slowly release back down onto your glutes. Extend the left leg out this time. Align that right foot with the right glute, or heel with the right glute. Keep the knee pointed up towards the sky. The left hand's grabbing onto that right shin. The right arm reaches tall. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, hinge over to the left. Pull your torso through your arm and your leg, and shift the chest up towards the sky. Inhale, and as you exhale, come back up. Release the knee and hand down. Press into those two. Rainbow the hips up forward. Coming into your modified wild thing on the second side. Again, making circles in both directions with your arms. Slowly release back down onto the glutes. Extend the right leg straight out in front of you. Setting up for our half cow face, your left leg. Come long ways on the mat. Flex the toes of both feet in towards your nose. That right ankle is coming up over top of the left thigh, making almost like a figure four here with your legs. Ground down through the sit bones. Inhale, reach tall. Hollow out the belly as you hinge forward, bringing your forehead down parallel to the knee. Maybe you bend the elbows and try to pull the torso a little closer towards your thighs. Feeling a nice stretch all the way around along the back of the left leg, maybe in the low back, and the IT band here. Release. Slowly round up. And switch sides. Maybe you wiggle the legs out in between. Remembering to keep the toes of both feet flexed in. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, hinge forward, grabbing for the shin, the ankle, or the foot. Inhale to find length and exhale to go a little bit deeper if you can. On the next inhale, slowly round up, draw the hands close into the body. Extend both legs out long, maybe wiggling them out again a second time. Release the hands underneath the shoulders behind you. Fingers are pointing the same direction as the toes. Press into the hands, into the heels. Bring the bottom of the feet flat onto the mat. Raise the hips up towards the sky for your reverse plank. The neck is long, the gaze is up. Engage your core. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly lower all the way back down onto your glutes. Flipping over, meeting me in tabletop. Checking your alignment when you get here. Hands are directly below the shoulders. Hips are above the knees. We've got about a fist distance between the chin and the chest, and the gaze is down. Draw the belly button up in towards the spine, engaging the core here. Drop your belly, bring the eyes and tail high for your cow spine. Exhale, firmly root into the hands, round the spine, tuck the tailbone slightly, bring your chin to the chest for your Halloween cow. Inhale, back to cow. Exhale, cat. Go ahead and do this 2 more times with your own breath. Once you're finished, meet me back at tabletop and I'll know you're ready to move on. Tabletop, inhale the right arm high. Bring the gaze up towards those right fingertips. And as you exhale, thread that right arm underneath of the left. Bring the right cheek down to the mat and extend that left arm straight out in front of you. Option to stay here, option to take the half bind. Take that left arm and grab for the opposite hip crease. Really rotating that shoulder and elbow up towards the sky here. Release that left hand down in front of your face. Press into the mat, peel the torso up. Bring the right fingers high and the gaze up towards those right fingertips once more. And as you exhale, fold back down into your tabletop. On the next inhale, the left fingers go high, gaze goes up. Thread the needle here on the second side. Left cheek comes down, right arm extends out. Get comfortable here. Sink down into the mat, and if you took the half bind on the first side, move into that half bind here on the second side. Release the right hand in front of the face. Peel the torso up, bring the gaze up towards those left fingertips once more, and then fold back down into your tabletop. Go ahead and step back into your plank pose. Checking your alignment when you get here. Hands are below the shoulders. Slightly tuck the tailbone. We've got one long line of energy from the crown of the head to the heels. Engage your core. Bring that right foot between the 2 hands. Ground down through the feet here. Find your stability, slowly round up, bring the hands into heart center for our low runner's lunge here with prayer hands. Inhale, reach tall, come into high prayer, interlace those fingers, place that basket that you've just created with the hands behind your head. Inhale as you shift the gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, round your chin, bring this chin to the chest, and then slowly bring the torso flat onto the thigh. Inhale, slowly round back up, shift the gaze up towards the sky again. Release the hands, reach tall once more. Exhale the hands down to heart center. Inhale here to find more length. As you exhale, look right, twist right. Locking the elbow and the knee, firmly pressing the hands into one another here. Shift the gaze up over your right shoulder. Keep that back leg strong like a tree trunk, fully engaged. Option to stay here, option to expand the arms out. Go deeper into that twist for me if you can. Good. Release both hands down to the mat, frame that front foot, and step back to your plank pose once more. Again, engaging the core, keep that belly button tucked in tight. Step the left foot between your 2 hands, coming into the low runner's lunge on the second side. Ground down through the feet, round up, bring the hands into heart center. Take another big deep breath in, reach tall, biceps frame the face, interlace the fingers, bring that basket behind your head. Inhale, look up, slight back bend. Exhale, round the chin to the chest, bring the torso flat onto the thigh. Next inhale brings you back up, look up. Extend the arms back up to the sky, reach tall. Exhale your hands back down to heart center. Find your stability, find your length. Look left, twist left this time. Firmly rooting the hands into one another. Keep that back leg strong. Option to stay here, option to expand the arms out. Challenge yourself if you challenge yourself on the first side. Good job. Release both hands down to the mat. Frame that front foot. Step back to your plank. Keeping that core engaged. Move the right hand in front of your face on the mat. Stack your heels here. Open up to the left, coming into Vashisthasana, side plank. Arms are at 6 and 12 here. If you need to drop that right knee down for a modified version of your side plank, you can. Bring that right arm, bicep to frame your face. Reach for the top of the room. Challenge yourself here. Bring that left leg up. Drop the left foot down, back onto the right. Slowly fold back down into your plank. We're talking about balance today. Focus on moving slowly and shifting into these postures. So keeping your core engaged. Vashisthasana, side plank, second side. Once you found your stability at 6 and 12, modify or intensify however you need to. And then reach towards the top of the room, bringing that bicep to frame the face and lifting that bottom leg up. Slowly release everything back down. Come back into your plank. So keeping that core firmly engaged. Hoist your hips up and back. Coming into your first downward facing dog of the practice. Take some big refreshing breaths in and out here as you walk your dog. Pedal your knees left and right, left and right. Really taking some time to connect with your breath. Inhale the right leg up. Keep the hips squared here. Bring that right foot to your left glute. Make some circles with your ankle. Big circles with the knee. Inhale that right leg back up to the sky. And then bring it down to meet the left. Maybe pedaling it out again here in center. Inhale that left leg high. Open up to half scorpion. Bring that left foot to the right glute. Whatever you did on the first side, do on the second side. Inhale that left leg back up to the sky. And as you exhale, bring it down to meet the right. Bend your knees real deeply. Look to the top of the mat. Walk or step to the top of the mat. Meeting me in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift up, engage the core, nice flat back, draw that belly button up and in. Exhale, fold forward, release down, drop the hips, reverse swan dive up, reach tall, upward salute. Find length in the side body here. As you drop the left hand to the left thigh, reach over to the left with those right fingertips. Again, draw the left shoulder back some, right shoulder forward some. Keep the chin up. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, the right arm down, reach over to the right. Inhale, come back up. Bring the hands to high prayer. And exhale them down to heart center. Today's focus is on balance on and off the mat. If your mind begins to wander in our practice at all, I invite you to use my mantra. Every day I grow stronger and more relaxed. Inhale, upward salute, reach tall. Exhale, fold forward, earth touch. Plant your hands and step back to your plank pose. Option to drop the knees here for your modified chaturanga, lowering all the way down to your belly. Inhale, baby cobra, tops of the feet and thighs are rooted down. Long neck, actively pulling the shoulders and elbows down and back. Tuck the toes, press into the hands, push up to plank. And then hoist your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale your heels high. Exhale the knees low. Look to the top of the mat. Hop or step to the top of the mat. Engage the core. Halfway lift up, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Release down. Drop your hips and reverse swan dive up again. Reach tall. Option for a mini back bend here. Cactus your arms, lead with the hips. Slightly bend back. Back bends, come back to center. Fold forward, earth touch. Plant your hands. Option to shoot it back and land in chaturanga, or step it back into your plank and then lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale to your baby cobra or upward facing dog. Upward facing dog, just the tops of the feet and the palms are on the mat or broad across the collarbones. Flip over your feet, downward facing dog. Inhale the heels high, exhale the knees low. Hopper step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift up. Fold forward, release down. Drop the hips, circle sweep the arms high, reach up. An option for another mini back bend here. Back bends come back to center. Fold forward, release down. Plant your hands and go through your flow, modifying or intensifying however you need to. This is your practice. Downward facing dog. Take another couple big breaths in and out right here. Maybe. Walking your dog. Connecting with our mantra. Every day I grow stronger and more relaxed. Next inhale, bring the right leg high. Step it through, drop that back foot to a 40-45 degree angle. Square the hips to the top of the mat. Engage your core, round up to warrior one. Spark through your fingertips here. Make sure that front knee is directly over that front heel, that back foot's flat on the mat. If you need to widen your stance a little bit, place the hands down or center. Shift the toes, or the heel, excuse me, of that back foot so that the toes are pointing towards the top of the mat for your crescent lunge legs. That back heel's lifted. Find stability in your front foot. We're about to move into our warrior three. Bring your balance and your attention into your focus here. Points in that back foot, lift up. Keep a micro bend in that right knee and the toes of that left foot flexed in. It's gonna help with your balance here. You can leave your hands at heart center. You can airplane them out behind you, or you can really challenge yourself and reach out in front of you for full extension of warrior three. These one-legged poses give us a chance to find our center of gravity and dance around its edges. Release the hands down to the mat for your standing splits. For standing splits, you want to actively be trying to draw the torso as close to the thigh as you can. Don't worry about how high the left foot goes here. Grab the back of that right ankle if you can. Try to draw the torso close and kiss the knee. Slowly release that left foot down, coming into your forward fold. Plant your hands, step back to your plank pose, and go through your flow. Modifying or intensifying however you need to. This is your practice. Meeting me in downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high. Step it through. Coming into your warrior one once more. Checking your alignment when you get here. Reach tall, spark through those fingertips. Inhale, and as you exhale, release the hands down to heart center. Lift that back heel up. Coming into your crescent lunge. Again, finding stability in that front foot with buoyancy in the back. Move into your warrior three. Equilibrium comes with equanimity. Lack of equilibrium brings just the opposite. Release the hands down, coming into your standing splits. There's something uniquely frustrating about losing our balance in these one-legged postures. Try to kiss your knee and then release down to forward fold. It goes beyond the instinctive fear of falling and strikes directly at our ego. We rarely tumble to the ground and hurt ourselves, but the simple act of putting that other foot down can be maddening. Drop your hips, reverse swan dive up, upward salute. Meeting me in high prayer and coming down to heart center. We're gonna play around with our Pada Baddha here, our foot lock. Shifting the weight, lifting the toes up, rocking from the base of the big toe to the base of the pinky toe, around the back of the foot and the heel and up along the side of the foot and all the way around in this nice circular motion here. Doing this a few times and then releasing the toes down onto the mat, really feeling that nice foot lock here and that stability. Shift the weight into the left foot and begin to move into your half chair, bringing that right ankle up over that left thigh. Sit down low here. Move slowly as you begin to sit down. When we balance, we're aligning our body's center of gravity with Earth's gravitational field. Try to bring the knee into the armpit if you can, keeping the back long and the spine extended. We're quite literally placing ourselves in a physical equilibrium with the fundamental force of nature here. If you fall out, it's okay. Come back to it. Inhale, upward salute. Bring that right foot down, wiggle it out, reach tall. Again, coming into high prayer. Release the hands down to heart center. Shifting the weight into the right foot this time. Moving into your half chair on the second side. Again, moving slow. We can't achieve this harmony and balance by remaining absolutely still. Instead, we have to continuously refresh our balance moment after moment. Inhale, upward salute. Reach tall. Exhale, fold forward, earth touch. The sustained effort to center and recenter when successful brings not only our flesh and bones into balance, but also our nerve impulses, our thoughts, emotions, and our very consciousness. Plant your hands, step back to plank pose and go through your flow. Again, modifying or intensifying however you need to here. Meeting me in your downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, inhale the right leg high. Step it through, come into your warrior one. Reaching tall here. Spark through the fingertips. Release the hands down to heart center, lift that back heel up, come into your crescent lunge. You know the deal, buoyancy in that back foot, come into your warrior three. Moving nice and slow, the price of balance is our constant attention. One more breath here in warrior three. Drop that back foot down at 45-degree angle. Come into your warrior two. Reach for both sides of the room here. Find stability. Gazes up over those right fingertips. Make sure that your block is close by and begin to move into half moon. Again, find the buoyancy in that back foot. Step it up if you need to, a couple steps. Tick-tocking the arms. Aligning the shoulders at 6 and 12. Keeping the arms and hips open to the side here. You need a block underneath that front hand, you can do so. Another breath here. Bend that front knee deeply. Land softly back into warrior three. Reaching for both sides of the room once more. Again, the gaze is forward like you threw a spear. Flip your front palm, lean into it. Reverse your warrior, high five the back wall. Reverse warrior, cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Frame that front foot. Step back to your plank pose, going through your flow, or meeting me in downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, take a big breath in and out here before we switch sides. On the next inhale, bring that left leg high. Step it through, coming into your warrior one again. Spark through the fingertips, reach tall. Release the hands down to heart center as you pivot all 10 toes to face the top of the mat. Find buoyancy in that back foot. Slowly move into warrior three. Check in with your focus and your breath and your balance here. Listen carefully. Land softly, coming into warrior two. Reaching for both sides of the room. Keep that bend in that front knee. Buoyancy in that back foot. Move into your half moon. Stack the shoulders, stack the hips. You can enhance your equilibrium in these poses by spreading the toes of the ball of the foot and the standing foot. The broader the base, the more stable you are. Then that front knee lands softly back into warrior two. Again, still reaching for both sides of the room. Flip that front palm. Reverse your warrior. Reverse warrior, inhale deeply, and as you exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat, going through your flow and meeting me in downward facing dog yet again. Downward facing dog, inhale the heels high, exhale the knees low, look to the top of the mat. Hop to the top of your mat, meeting me in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift up, flat back, engage your core. Exhale, fold forward, release down. Drop your hips, reverse swan dive up. Reach tall, upward salute. Bring the hands down to heart center and sit down low in your chair. Keep the weight in the heels here. Lift the toes just to make sure that the weight's back in the heels. Keep the spine long, draw the belly button up and in. Inhale to find length. Look right, twist right. Make sure that your knees stay in a straight line here, firmly pressing the hands into one another and the gaze is over your right shoulder. Challenge yourself, expand your arms out. Go deeper into that twist for me if you can. Release down, forward fold. Heel toe your feet out about a hip distance this time. Take your 2-piece fingers, wrap them around your big toes. Inhale, halfway lift up, engage the core, nice flat back. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips, bend the elbows, bring the crown of the head parallel to the mat. Getting nice release in the low back. Maybe you feel it in the hamstrings. And all the benefits of fresh blood to the brain here as well. One more big deep breath in and out right here, and then release the toes. Heel toe your feet back together, nice and slow. Inhale, halfway lift up, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Drop the hips, circle sweep the arms up, reach tall, meeting me in high prayer. And then sit down low again in your chair pose. Again, lift the toes, make sure the weight is in your heels here. Inhale to find length. Exhale, look left, twist left this time. Look down, make sure your knees are in a straight line. That right knee popped forward, go ahead and pull that hip back a little bit to keep them in a straight line. Expand the arms out here, challenge yourself. Go to 6 and 12. Release down, forward fold. Heel toe your feet out again, about a hip distance. This time, take your palms, palm up, slide them underneath of the feet. Keep the weight more in the toes. Hollow out the belly, hinge forward at the hips. Bring the crown of the head parallel to the mat, softening your head and neck. Maybe you pull back on the hands, maybe you bend the elbows. Maybe you give your hands a nice massage with your feet while we're here. Go ahead and release the hands out from underneath of your feet. Heel toe the feet back together, big toes touching, a little space between the ankles. Engage the core, halfway lift up. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, go through your flow or meet me in downward facing dog, yogi's choice. Downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high. Step it through. Coming into your warrior one once more. You know the deal here. Release the hands down to heart center. Lift that back heel up. Crescent lunge legs. Shift the weight forward. Come into your warrior 3. We're going to spice it up here. Holding our warrior 3 for an extra breath. Flex the toes in. Check in with your balance. We've been working on it this whole practice. We should be good here. On your next inhale, switching it up, slowly come to stand in Tadasana. Bring that left foot to meet the right. Find stability again here in your Pada Bandha, your foot lock. Shift the weight into the left foot. Bring that right foot parallel to the mat. Again, finding your stability here. Finding your balance. Option to stay right here with the hands at prayer. Option to go a little bit further here, checking in with our peak pose. Wrap your 2-piece fingers around your big toe. Keep the right piece fingers around your right big toe. Keep the left hand on your left hip. For my beginners, you can stay right here. This is more than enough. We're working on our balance. We're working on our focus. We're continuously checking in with it from moment to moment when we're on our one foot. If you want to challenge yourself here, actively pressing down on the big toe and the ball of the big foot is going to cause a rebound up through the body, pressing this gravitational field to the edge of the foot. And then you're going to counteract that by moving to the other edge of the foot. We're constantly moving back and forth, checking in with that balance. Inhale, slightly tuck the tailbone. As you exhale, begin to extend that leg straight out in front of you. Still keeping the core engaged here and remembering to breathe. Option to stay here, and if you want to challenge yourself yet again, open out to the side for full extension of our peak pose today. Extended hand to big toe. It's okay if you fall out. We're all human. Our balance, come back to it. Go ahead and release out. Drop that foot down to meet the right foot down to meet the left. Wiggle it out here. Inhale, upward salute, reach tall. Bring the hands down to heart center. And then fold all the way forward to your earth touch, planting the hands onto the mat and stepping back to your plank pose. Chaturanga down. Coming into baby cobra or upward facing dog. And then flipping over your feet to your downward facing dog. Inhale that left leg high. Step it through, come into warrior one on the second side. Again, sparking through the fingertips, reaching tall. Release the hands down to heart center here. As you lift that back heel up, all 10 toes facing forward. You know the deal, this is our last warrior three. Come into it strong. Hold steady here. Challenge yourself. Try to take the full extension into your last one. Engage the core and come up to stand. Bring the right foot to meet the left. Again, finding your stability here in your Pada Bandha. Shift the weight into the right foot. Bring the right hand onto the right hip. Keep the left foot flexed in and the toes in towards the nose. Option to stay here or challenge yourself and take the 2-piece fingers and wrap them around your big toe. Slightly tucking that tailbone. Again, checking in with the balance as it rotates between the inner foot, the ball of the foot, and the outer foot. When you're ready, move into extending the left leg straight out in front of you. Nice and slow. The slower you move, the better your focus will be to be able to maintain this balance. Again, if you're ready, open up to the side. Really challenge yourself here today. Notice that when we keep our hips and shoulders square, our balance stays a little bit better. Release it out. Bring that left foot down to meet the right. Wiggle it out a good few couple times. Inhale, reach tall. Bring the hands to high prayer. Fold forward and come down to your earth touch, planting your hands and going through your flow. Again, modifying or intensifying however you need to. Last one of the practice. Meeting me in downward facing dog. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sweating. Downward facing dog, bring that right leg high. And bring that right ankle, right knee to your right wrist. Lay the shin bone down naturally. Walk that left leg straight out behind you. Setting up for our half sleeping pigeon here. Square your hips to the top of the mat. Maybe tuck those toes, lift the knees and the hips up. And then bring it back down a couple times just to make sure those hips are nice and square there. Inhale to find length. And as you exhale, begin to fold forward into your sleeping pigeon. Maybe you come down onto the forearms. Maybe make little pillows with your fists. Maybe bring the forehead all the way down to the mat. Don't get too comfortable, sleeping pigeons. It's time to wake up. Bring the hands underneath of the shoulders. Peel the torso up off of the mat. Shift the right hand in front of your face on the mat. Reach back with the left hand and grab the knife edge side of that left foot. Moving into half mermaid. If full mermaid is in your practice, I invite you to take that now. Bringing the toes into the elbow crease and interlacing the fingers behind you. Release. Come down onto the glutes. Swing that left leg up and around. Flex the toes of that left foot in towards your nose. Bring that right foot to the inside of that left thigh. Ground down through the sit bone. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale the arms up. Hinge forward, hollowing out the belly, bringing the forehead to the knee. Now, if your forehead doesn't make that knee connection, bend the knee a whole lot until it does. And then try to straighten it. Inhale to find length and exhale to try to go a little bit deeper. Again, listening to your body and only going as far as you feel comfortable today. Let the next inhale slowly bring you back up. Drop the right hand behind you, press into the right hand and the right knee. Rainbow those hips forward again, coming into your modified wild thing once more in today's practice. I lied, we've got one more on the other side, so. Slowly release back down onto your glutes. Flip the legs around, coming into your tabletop once more. Draw that belly button up and in towards the spine. Tuck your toes, hoist your hips up and back, meeting me in downward facing dog. Last one of the practice. Inhale that left leg high. Bring that left knee to your left wrist. Lay the shin bone down naturally. Again, squaring the hips off to the top of the mat, moving into your sleeping pigeon. Only going down as far as you feel comfortable today. Matching what you did on the other side. I don't know about you, but pigeon's one of my favorites. I could stay here forever, but we can't do that today. Bring the hands underneath of your shoulders. Slowly bring the torso back up off of the mat. This time, the left hand's going into the center of the mat in front of your face. Bend that right knee, reach back, grab for that right foot on the knife edge side. Again, option to stay here, option to take full extension of mermaid if it's in your practice. Mermaids release out. Swing that right leg up and around. Setting up for a Janu Sirsasana or forehead to knee pose. Ground down through the sit bones, flex the toes in. Inhale, reach the arms tall. And as you exhale, hinge forward. Again, bending that knee as much as you need to be able to make that forehead to knee connection here. Inhale, slowly rise back up. The left hand's coming behind you on the mat. Press into the left hand and the left knee. Rainbow those hips up. Last modified wild thing of the practice. Make it beautiful. Smile because we're almost done. Release down onto your glutes. Bring both feet flat onto the mat about a hip distance apart. Scoot your sit bones as close to your heels as you can. And then come all the way down onto your back. Setting up for our bridge pose. Reach down, make sure you can graze the back of your heels with your fingertips. Round the low back down flat onto the mat first, and then peel the torso up, pushing through the glutes and the heels here. Option to stay here, option to roll the shoulder blades down and back together, go a little bit deeper into this pose, interlacing the fingers underneath of you. Take another big deep breath in, and as you exhale, release the arms and slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. Option to move into a second round of bridge, or option to take wheel here if wheel is in your practice. If you're taking wheel, fingers point the same direction as your toes, your hands frame your face. Again, round the low back down, flat onto the mat first, press into the feet and push up. Remembering to breathe here. When you're ready to come out, tuck the chin into the chest and slowly lower down, one vertebrae at a time. Separate the feet out to the edges of the mat here. Bring your arms out to a T, drop the knees to the left, gaze goes right. Switching sides, everything comes back to center. Shift the gaze to the left, knees go right. Bring everything back to center. And now just wiper blade your legs from the left to the right a few times, going as fast or as slow as you feel comfortable with your back and your body today. Just neutralizing the hips and the spine after that deep back bend. Go ahead and come long ways on the mat. Draw the right knee up and in towards your chest, and up and towards the armpit. Really squeeze it in tight. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Make those knuckles turn white. Rumor has it, if the knuckles turn white, we're helping to get rid of arthritis and cure bits and pieces of osteoporosis. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Another big deep breath in. And as you exhale, drape that right knee over to the left. Stacking the hips as you do this here. And then you extend the right arm out, gaze goes right. Option to stay here. Option to take your left peace fingers, hook them around the right big toes, and extend that right leg straight out as you keep the gaze over to the right and the toes out to the left. For our cat pulling its tail. Variation. Slowly release out, draw that right knee up in towards your armpit, give it another good squeeze in. Exhale it down to meet the left and switch sides, bring that left knee up and in. Squeezing it in real tight. Turning those knuckles as white as we can. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Take a big deep breath in, and as you exhale, drape that left knee across to the right, stack the hips, bring the gaze out to the left and the left arm out. Again, option to take the two peace fingers on your right hand this time, hook them around the left big toe, and extend that left leg straight out. Slowly release out, drawing that left knee up and in, squeezing it in tight once more. Now bring that right knee to meet the left, keeping them open towards your armpits. Grab the bottoms of your feet, coming back into your happy baby. Take note of the opening in the hips and the groin and the low back. And if there isn't an opening in the hips, the low back, or the groin, and we didn't do anything in today's practice, maybe there's an opening in your mind or an opening in your heart that wasn't there before. Maybe you rock back and forth from side to side a few times, massaging the muscles of the spine. Now bring the soles of the feet together. Make the bottoms of your feet kiss. And let the feet come down onto the mat. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart, coming into your reclined butterfly. Let your knees be heavy and let them fall towards the earth here. Closing your eyes, taking some refreshing breaths in and out here. Can you sit in the middle of each life experience and engage just enough to be able to support the process while releasing your effort just enough to let the experience become alive for you and within you? By doing this, we gain a sense of balance in our lives. Not too tight, not too loose creates an imprint of non-drama. A new habit of not panicking or grasping or resisting situations as they arise. And instead shows us how to engage in these situations fully, all the while knowing that everything will shift in time anyways. Begin to move into your final Shavasana. Extend the legs straight out. Walk the shoulders away from your ears. Get comfortable on the mat. Bring your palms to face up. As you lie on your back, allow your arms and legs to naturally fall away from your body. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Release any and all tension and allow the benefits of today's sequence to seep into your mind and into your body with our final resting pose. Soften your face, unclench the jaw, relax the brow. Again, taking a few more big, deep breaths in and out, noticing the rise and the fall of the belly and letting it become soft. Feeling the hips sinking heavy into the mat. Relax the glutes. Soften the thighs. Unlock the knees. Relax the calves and the shins. Feel the feet fall heavy towards the earth. And for the next few minutes, let your mind and body be still. Wherever your attention may have drifted, bring it back to your breath and to the rise and the fall of the belly. You're wiggling your fingers and your toes, turning your head from left to right, just bringing awareness back into the room, back into the body. Still keeping the eyes closed or downcast, move to the fetal side of your choice. Use your arms as a pillow. Smile because you gave yourself this time today. Whenever you're ready, push yourself back up, coming into an easy seat. Meeting me in the center of your mat, hands at heart center. As in all practices, we must remember that everything is connected. Our emotional and energetic bodies are deeply linked to our physical bodies. One doesn't get worked independently of the other. It's imperative to cultivate balance. Thank you for letting me guide you through your moving meditation today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.